What do you think when you hear the next Adam Sandler movie is coming out? Do you think it might be good? Leo made a barf sound off camera. It's interesting to think about for me at least, bad movies. I've said it before that I'm a little obsessed with terrible, so bad they're good movies. Yeah. And there are a certain group of actors and actresses who consistently appear in terrible movies. Vox actually made an analysis tool to figure this out. Which actors and which actresses are in the bad movies usually? You know,
the worst.
Who's always in the worst movies?
Right.
Vox made a scale, and the actor or actress must have performed in at least 10 films, no writing, directing, or producing credits.
Okay.
One of these films needs to have grossed $30 million or more at the box office, adjusted for inflation.
Okay.
And at least one of these films needs to have been in the past 5 years.
So
they wanted
relevant.
Active actors. And they want, there are studios where they're known for pushing out consistently terrible movies, and they wanted to omit that section too. So they do have an answer.
So there's no video game movies on this list.
I mean, maybe if the actor tied to it was in a bigger movie at some other point recently.
That's true.
So we have some results. Which actor do you think was in the most consistently terrible movies? The answer is Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider's in.
He doesn't have
the worst
any positive.
movies.
Look, he's got 0% positive.
I actually should probably explain that as well. Negative, they put this on a score of 0 to 100, 0 being terrible, 100 being resoundingly good. And what we have here are breakdowns. 0 to 49 is negative, 50 to 74 is mixed, and 75 to 100 is positive feedback. Rob Schneider is not in any positively reviewed movies, and also Ashton Kutcher, though he's in more mixed movies.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, surprisingly, is the number 2.
Not surprisingly. I would argue.
I thought he would be number 1.
Well,
when we went into this.
Yeah, so did I. But it makes sense because he cast Rob Schneider in all of his movies. So you think you make enough movies.
So it's his fault.
It's all Rob Schneider's fault. But he's always like just one guy who goes, "You can do it," right? It's always like the same dude. But I feel like when Rob Schneider is the lead, his movies bomb way more. Where
you
perhaps
didn't like Deuce Bigalow, Mel Gigolo,
I actually thought
that
was a funny movie.
I didn't.
Yeah. I was like, this movie's terrible, but it makes me laugh because it's like overwhelmingly, like you said, overwhelmingly terrible. Like it was almost made with the intention to be a terrible movie.
Well, that is something else I should bring up. These are all based on critic scores, not audience, which there may be different wear from the mile on those. You may like something that was reviewed very poorly. And when it comes to the actresses that are most consistently in terrible movies, there is a queen, and she is
Who's the queen bee?
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Which is crazy. She's still alive?
No, she's I like her.
I know, so do I, but it's crazy. She can't
always make good choices in life.
Yeah. What was what was the last movie she was even in?
Her last movie was in 2013, a low-budget rom-com titled Jewtopia.
Well, the name alone warrants the number 1 spot.
Yeah, up close to her is Jessica Alba and Katherine Heigl.
What was she in, like Good Luck Chuck, right? That was like the last.
She was in one of the Spy Kids movies, which I think is one of her better movies.
Oh, which is not.
She was in the original Fantastic Four films.
Also a bomb, yeah. Also a bomb. I didn't hate them though. That was a weird thing.
Yeah.
They were bombs and everybody panned them, but I thought they were like fun comic book movies at the time. Fun enough.
Again, critics versus what audiences like. And those aren't necessarily competing for the same thing. You might be going for audience favor, maybe making that box office money and not really caring what the critics think.
That's true. When did Katherine Heigl become like hated?
When people learned rumors from the sets that she was not a nice person.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Because I didn't look into it much, but I realized that nobody likes her.
I hate to say it, but that does affect how I feel about people.
I know.
I wish I could reward the best performance, but in my head, I'm like, I don't want a bad person to succeed.
That's right.
But when it comes to predicting really good movies, there are a couple actors that you are
same formula flip
worth following. Yes, it's the same formula, but the actors who scored the highest. The reigning king, which will not surprise you at all, is Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh my God.
What a shock. He's
guy
won many Best Actor awards.
And the cool part is that he is so selective. He's made like 11 movies in the past 20 years or something like that.
And none of them are bad.
And none of them are bad. That means like he knows what a good movie is. He knows how to act. He knows how to get into character because he's like the most renowned method actor in the industry.
I've heard he's scary.
He's intense.
But he does a good job.
I can't imagine working with him as Bill the Butcher. That must have been crazy. Literally, he was a crazy person.
Paul F. Tompkins has a great stand-up piece about working with him in There Will Be Blood.
I need to go watch that.
Fantastic.
I need to watch that as soon as I get
Definitely
home.
check that out. There is an actress who is consistently in the best movies, and she is Carey Mulligan. Carey Mulligan has been in mostly good movies.
I'm not sure who Carey Mulligan is. I feel bad.
She was in The Great Gatsby.
Oh, yeah.
She's been in a few films that were prestige films.
That's right.
There we go.
Yeah. It's worth pointing out, though, on that list of the top actresses, most of them are, or a large majority of them are above the age of, what is it, 50?
Not a single performer on the worst rated actresses was over 58.
Over 58, that's what it was.
But here 4 actresses are 60 plus who are on the highest ranking side, which includes Charlotte Rampling, Meryl Streep, Maggie Smith, and Judi Dench. I'm sorry, Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah, and the moral of the story is be a good actress.
Oh, good. That's a great lesson for me to remember. There was also one last takeaway on this, which is critics are much harder on comedy and action films than they are on drama pieces. So, I mean, you could argue about this, about whether certain actors are being treated fairly or disproportionately,
or are they funny?
Overpraised in this.
Are they even actually funny? Because I feel like it's hard to be funny.
Yeah.
But when you're being in drama pieces, you have, mentions in the article, there's an emotional spectrum that you're allowed to tap into, and that's more respectable. When you're just trying to be funny, it's like, you're kind of playing the same card.
It's not for everyone, though.
It's not for everyone.
Not for everyone. And, some of these movies aren't for everyone. And I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there, maybe it's not the actor's fault entirely.
But are Adam Sandler
Unless
movies,
they're Rob Schneider.
But I was going to say, are Adam Sandler movies for anyone?
They're not for me.
They're not for you, and they're not for
me.
They're not
Pixels
for
was a pile of garbage, and I did not feel good about that. I felt actually really insulted.
What up?
Anyway, if you want to check out the rest of the results, they are on Vox.com right now. Pretty interesting analytical method. You may disagree with it, and if you do, I'd like to know about it below in the comments. Leo, thanks so much for joining us this week. You have been fantastic in talking about all of these things. If you want to check out Leo, you can find him at...
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter at Leo Zombie and at Mr. Leo Zombie everywhere else.
Check it out.
Easy.
Thanks, Leo.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching.